Happy Friday, Ronchar Ranchers. I hope everybody had a good week. This update is just going to be on Solomon's ultrasound. Let's start off with the positives. So, it started off with him getting his leg shaved, which I thought was going to be a bigger deal for him. He doesn't like different sounds. So I thought that he was going to have an issue with the sound of the razor, which he didn't. He was a total champ and just stood there and had his leg shaved. And then he has to stand still, obviously, for the ultrasound. Well, on his left-hand side, which I was standing on, he was not having it. He was moving around, and Dr. Lauren really couldn't get any good images. So she wanted to sedate him. And it's just a personal thing. I'm not a big fan of sedating. You never know how they're going to react. You never know what's going to happen. And I said, let's try one more thing. So I know he loves scratches, and he will do anything for his scratchy spot. So I switched over to the right side, which is the same side that we were trying to ultrasound, and I just started scratching him in his spot. And he stood there like a champ for the whole rest of the time. He moved a little bit just to tell me where he wants to be scratched, and that's just a normal thing for him. He'll rock, or he'll back up, or do various things to let me know where the exact spot is that he wants to be scratched. So that made him stand like a perfect angel, and it allowed Dr. Lauren to be able to get the images that she needed to. So what did the images show? First off, it was very difficult for her, because of his anatomy, to get a lay of the land. Meaning, all horses have essentially signposts for their anatomy, and to allow her to know where she is when she's doing the ultrasound. All of those were not present for him. And so after she found some of the points that she needed in order to figure out what his anatomy was, the end result is that 30 to 40% of his ligament is literally gone. It's not there anymore. It's either deteriorated or torn, but he has 30 to 40% of his ligament not functioning. And the portions of the ligament that he does have left are either have holes in it, or have essentially tear marks in them. Now, sometimes those tear marks can fix themselves, those small tears, so that the small tears are like small injuries, and sometimes those can heal, but we don't think that they can, basically. The other thing that has happened is that his ligament has, because of his anatomy, his ligament has torn bone away, and essentially he has bone floating in or attached, I should say, to what little ligament that he has left. So he's got that in a couple of spots, and then there's, you know, one section where, you know, the bone is holding on for dear life to keep his ligament where it is. So what does this mean for him? It is the worst case scenario, quite honestly. We knew it was going to be bad. Even Dr. Lauren said she didn't anticipate it was going to be that bad, and she's never seen a leg like his. And that's not a good thing. So we are going to keep him as comfortable as we can, but ultimately we do have to make a decision on him to let him go. It's not going to be today, it's not going to be tomorrow, unless something catastrophic happens, which is what we're trying to prevent. And we're preventing that by keeping him away from the boys. As much as my heart wants him to be able to go out on the big pasture with them and do the normal horse things, that's going to put him in jeopardy. I mean, he's literally, if he were to get jostled, or those who have been with me for a while know that there's a creek bed back there. That's the first creek. It's hard to navigate if you're lame. It's hard to navigate for me sometimes because I have a bad knee. And if he were to misstep or step on a rock wrong or get running, it could be absolutely catastrophic. And that's not how we want him to go. We want him to go on a good day, with a full belly and the sun beaming down on him. And he deserves that. He has been through and has endured what no horse should be allowed to endure. And while it is heartbreaking that we ultimately are going to lose him, at least for the time that he's been here, he has known love, he's known compassion, and he's had a full belly. And he's been happy. And while it's not the outcome that we wanted, it's the best way for him to have an ending. It's his best ending. So we will keep him happy. We will do special things with him. He will get all the scratches that he wants. He already had a scratchy session before we did this. You can see, you see where it's dusty up there. That was his scratchy spot today, as well as his back end, which was a first. He has not let me do that to him, but he wanted his butt scratched and his hips scratched, so he got whatever the heck he wanted, and that's how the rest of his days will be. For many people, including obviously us, 2025 has been brutal, and this is just another gut punch, and I don't know what else to say. He is such a magnificent boy. Where you going, buddy? And I wish that there was more that we could do for him. But the best thing that we can do is to, like I said, let him go on a good day. And we will. That determination hasn't been made yet. But we have to do it before the ice and the snow comes. Dr. Lauren is very, very concerned that if he were to slip on the ice, that's going to be catastrophic. And, you know, ice and hoof marks are not going to work for him either. You know, they make huge divots, and that is not going to work for him either. That could be catastrophic as well. So so that's where we are with him, guys. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news and to be the Debbie Downer. I had hoped that we were going to have better news and that Dr. Lauren's opinion was going to change. I think her opinion was solidified when she drove up the driveway and her and the technician took a look at him just driving up and said, oh crap, his leg has dropped more. It's something that I had noticed. I had taken pictures, and I have been taking pictures of his leg, just so that I can document it and have a frame of reference. And I saw that he had significantly dropped from some of the other pictures I had taken. And what do I mean dropped? So if you see where his feathers are, they are closer to the ground. So his feathers are on the backside of his fetlock. It's what's not shaved. And it's lower to the ground. And for them to notice that, and for somebody else that has known him prior to him even coming here, it's a friend that I was conversing with about him and asking her what her thoughts were on him. She even mentioned to me also that his leg looks like it has dropped more, which means that the ligaments just aren't there and can't support his leg. I mean, you're talking about now, God, he's got to be what, all of 1,600, maybe 1,700 pounds. So that was, I think that she had already solidified that what needed to be done. The beautiful thing about Dr. Lauren is she doesn't voice her opinion on her personal beliefs. She gives me the information. That's why she was all on board for doing the ultrasound, so that we could have all of the information. We could make a informed decision on his care and move forward from there. As far as anything else that we can do for him, we're doing everything that we can. I mean, he's on his pain meds. We red light him. We're keeping him in an area that is. We are, keeping him in an area that is safer for him, and that's the best that we can do. His body is his body. People have asked, what happened? What caused this? It is a combination of, and it's kind of like the chicken and the egg. His conformation is odd. Well, I'll put it bluntly. I've mentioned this before. His tail is so far down on his back, and his pelvis, that angle of his pelvis is not where it's supposed to be, and he's just built weird. And is that what caused his ligaments to deteriorate? Is it just a fact of how he is, that he just has weak ligaments because of how his body is? Or was it, poor nutrition and not being taken care of and having to be worked. I mean, he's only 10, you know, was it that he got worked too young, too hard, and that made the breakdown even worse, or not? So we don't know what came first. You want more scratchies? We don't know what came first. We don't know what caused it. You know, could it have been an injury? Possibly. I'm personally not convinced of that, because he's got issues with both legs. Just his right one is worse, and my gut is just saying it's not an injury. It's something else. It's either his body or just not being cared for well enough while he was younger and growing. So that's where we are with him, guys. I know I'm saying a lot. I just don't know what else to say about the situation and him. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll be happy to try and answer them. If you are if you have subscribed to our newsletter, I do have the images from the ultrasound that I'm going to share and do a side-by-side with what a quote-unquote normal ultrasound should be and what his was. So if you're interested in that, just go on to our website, roncharranchrescue.org, and just sign up for the newsletter. It comes out the third Tuesday of every month. So that's what I'm going to be showing in, one of the things that I'm going to be showing in this month's newsletter. It's going to be easier to show what I'm talking about that way than it is just to show the ultrasound image that I have. That's it for this week, guys. I will talk to you guys next week, and hopefully we'll have some different news and some better news. Something positive to share, like something about the open house that's coming up. But that's it for today, guys. I will talk to you guys later. Be well.